So it is 7:06. I'm going to call to order the meeting of April 13th. It's 7:06. April 13th, 2026. We can go around and introduce ourselves. I'll start with myself. I'm Caroline Kinsella. I am the health director. And Jean, our staff.
I'm Jean Peterson, admin clerk.
And Carolyn.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carolyn. I'm the assistant health director.
And our chair, Roxanne Musto, our board chair.
I am Roxanne Musto, chair.
And Laura Richards is our secretary.
Hi, Laura Richards.
Mary Stenson is our board member.
Hi, how are you?
So we'll start off after introductions with citizens speak. Is there anyone that would like to participate in citizens speak tonight? I don't see anyone else in the waiting room. Okay. Then we'll move along to agenda item number 3, approval of the minutes from the March 2nd, 2026 meeting. Board, have you had a chance to look at the meeting minutes?
Yes.
Do you have any corrections?
No.
That you'd like
I
to
don't.
make?
No, I had no corrections.
No corrections.
I'll
Would you
make
like
a
to make
motion. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from March 2nd. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call. Laura,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
and myself, yes.
Okay, so moving along to number 4 is 71 Ford Ranch Road. This is a local upgrade approval request, a variance in accordance with DEP policy number BRP/DWM/PEP-P00-1, allowing a percolation rate to be established via grain size distribution analysis is requested by applicant Peter Withington. And there's going to be a board discussion and a vote to approve. And I would recommend to the board and Mr. George Collins of Mr. Collins Engineering is going to be on to talk a little bit about 71 Ford Ranch Road. And I recommend approving this local upgrade request contingent that all of consultant Paul Brogna's comments have been addressed and that he's approved the plan. George, would you like to speak? And I can't hear you. You're on mute. There you are.
Okay, here I am. I apologize. I actually just re-entered everything. It's the same exact information, and for whatever reason, I'm not popping up in the Zoom meeting. I apologize. Yeah, so for the record, my name's George Collins. I'm a registered professional engineer. I've been before the the board in the past, representing Peter Withington of 71 Ford Ranch Road. If presumably the board has the plan in front of them. Essentially, we went out to the property and conducted 2 deep observation holes, and we had groundwater coming in at like 30 inches, making it impossible to conduct a percolation test. So we collected soil sample and sent it to a laboratory and established the percolation rate through the soil sampling process, and under the DEP the DEP policy that Carolyn had called out. It's a very standard practice, and I've actually been before the board with this exact scenario in the past. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions anybody may have. We have filed with the Conservation Commission for a notice of intent for this project. Paul had a couple comments that he asked me to address, and we took care of those last week. So presumably we're all set as far as that goes. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Board, do you have any questions for Mr. Collins?
I didn't have a question except for that, did you just want to go through what the issues were that Paul and had agreed, what the issues were and how they were taken care of?
Let's see. I can see if I can find that email. Let's see here.
I have the letter
I have
that
it.
Paul sent, if that helps. Yeah.
I have the letter. Do you want me to go through it?
I just wanted to make sure that everything was addressed and then, just for the record, it would be good to know that.
So,
Do you
Paul
want me to
Brodnick,
read
who's our-
through it, Caroline?
Go ahead if you want to, Carolyn.
Yeah.
I have it too. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first one was clarification of the existing septic tank to remain as a trash tank is needed as to its purpose and use. And Paul says he notes plan has been revised as needed. A condition to any approval document should require that both septic tanks be pumped at the same time every 1 to 3 years. The second comment was a note indicating the removal of the existing SAS or portion should be provided. Plan has been revised as needed. Condition and material type of the existing pipe from the house to the new septic tank should be inspected, verified, and documented. Plan has been revised as needed. Recommend that the as-built plan detail the tees and filter as needed on each tank, and that a licensed Title V inspector inspect and clarify the condition of the pipe. And then the last comment was pump chamber flow elevations need clarification. And Paul said that the plan has been revised as needed.
Okay, just a follow-up question then. In regards to neighbors and things like that, it's a small map we have in front. So I'm just wondering, George, how the distances are. I know you're going to have to go to conservation, you had said, but the grades and everything, do you need any kind of, on the chamber, any kind of barrier or anything?
Yeah, so I do have an aggressive erosion control system. I don't know if you can see. There's they're like double dashed red lines.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Around
Yes.
the system. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
actually double straw wattle. So under normal circumstances, we just put in one straw wattle, but in this, because of it's on a slope, I actually have double straw wattles,
Okay.
2 feet apart for that very reason. Just because
Okay.
a little portion of this is on a side slope.
And when are you going to conservation?
It's I believe it's at the end of this month. Let me see if I have it on my calendar. I apologize.
No, it's okay. So it's this month sometime. Yeah. So those are all my questions, really.
Okay.
I have no questions.
Yeah, I do not have that on my calendar. Let's
Okay.
see here. Do I? Yeah, I apologize. I do not have that on my digital calendar.
That's fine. If I was going to say, Mary, do you have any other questions? Do you have
No, I
questions?
don't. No.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we approve this upgrade request for 71 Ranch Road pending approval by the Concom.
I'll
Do I have a
second.
second? Okay, Laura. All right, roll call. Laura,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
and myself, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care,
Have,
George.
have a good evening. Thank you for accommodating on by phone. I don't know. So is are the members of the board, everybody attending by Zoom?
Yes.
Or are you all? Oh, really? Oh, that is so strange. I can't get on.
Mm,
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you accommodating me.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Okay, so moving along on our agenda to number 5. This is 2 tobacco compliance check violations, Milton Shell at 11 Bryant Ave and Milton Fuel, 352 Granite Ave. The fines are $1,000 for each violation, and discussion and vote to suspend both tobacco licenses for up to 30 days. Let me give you a little background about that. So MHOA, Mass Health Officers Association, had said that they would do some youth access tobacco compliance checks, which were conducted in the 9 Milton tobacco retailers on Tuesday, March 10th. And the underage buyer was able to purchase cigarettes at 2 of these establishments. And we have that record. And then, so I said Shell, 11 Bryant Ave, and Milton Fuel. And they will be both having a $1,000 fine for each of those, but the board will have to decide about how long that they want to have the tobacco sales permit suspended. So it can be up to 30 days for that. And we have Mr. Jason Audi, who's representing this business. Hello, Jason, at this meeting tonight. And board, if you'd like to ask Mr. Audi any questions. Both of these establishments are owned. You see, Milton Fuel is GAF LLC, Milton Shell, HADI Sun LLC, but Jason Audi is here and he's representing.
I just have a question. Have you had any violations prior to this?
I believe so. I believe this is the first one.
First, okay.
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I know in the near past, I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for Mr. Audi?
I have a question for you, Caroline. Can you just review with us? So this is just first violations on both, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So it's a mandatory. So this is with minimum required penalties for violation of tobacco sales law. So in the case of a first violation, a fine of $1,000 shall be imposed, and that's for each of them. In addition, that the violation is a sale of a tobacco product to a person under the age of 21, which it was, they were 19 years old. The local tobacco sales permit shall be suspended for up to 30 consecutive business days. And that's the first violation. And then
Okay.
the second is more than that. And the third violation can be, second violation could be $2,000. And then the third is $5,000. And again, it's suspending the license. So up to 30 consecutive business days. And it's up to the board to decide. And what will happen is we'll go out and they'll have to remove any cigarettes.
Okay. What have we done in the past as far as first violations and suspensions? How long do we normally give? About a week or?
They have had violations at the Food Mart, I think, a couple of years ago. And I think it was like 14 days.
Yeah, I thought it was either 10 or 14. I can't remember.
And I just wanted to ask Audi, is the staff knowing of the procedure in selling cigarettes? Are they aware of?
Yeah, they were all aware when they were originally hired, and after this, I spoke to all of them again together as a group and explained to them the severity of the situation, and it's very serious, and you have to check ID regardless of what age you think the person looks like. It doesn't matter, like your opinion doesn't matter. You have to check the ID itself. And, I tell them that when I hire them, but over time they get, I don't know if it was during Ramadan and because they're both Muslim employees, and I don't know if they were tired or there's no excuse for it. They just need to, I retrained them and, it's not going to happen again.
Do you have documents to support your trainings that go on? Like, do they sign them? Is there like a little something in writing to support them that if they forget something, do they have something to go by, or is it
Like
you?
a checklist or something?
Yeah, just something to have
I
as a
don't,
reminder, a gentle
don't
reminder or something,
but it's
or
a good idea to do. So I can make a checklist for them and put it next to the computer system. Yeah.
and then if new employees come, they can't work until they're trained,
Yes, of
or
course.
they can't sell cigarettes, I should say, until they
Yeah, they
get
need
the
to be
same
fully
training.
trained.
And then
Exactly.
how often do you refresh that training? Is it just once, or how often do you do it?
Typically,
Yearly, or?
we have the same employees for a long time, so they're usually good at it, honestly. Um, I don't know what happened this time around. I don't, there's no excuse for it. We just need to get better as a whole, you know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Would do you have any other questions for Mr. Audi?
No.
So what does
Would
the
you like to
board
make
want to decide in
suggestion?
terms of length of time? Any thoughts?
I might be inclined to say like 14 days, considering it was their first violation, official
Mhm.
violation. I don't know how you feel about that, Roxanne or Laura.
I think if that's generally what we're doing, then we have to give them that 14 days.
I would agree. I mean, I think we want to keep it consistent on a first offense with whatever we've been doing. I just can't recall if it's been 10 or 14 offhand, but that would be my thought because it is a first offense. And then just, Audi, I would just think it's really important just to remind the employees. I don't know if you have something at the desk there where the sales are going on. Either it's, something highlighted for them or something just as a reminder before a sale. You know what I mean? I know that there's signage, but I'm just thinking for your employees, just as a
Yeah, definitely.
reminder so it doesn't happen again. Because, certainly we want to support businesses, right? We don't want to have to do this, but we're sort of obligated in a way too, right?
It's very serious. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, my peers want to do the 14 days. I agree with them on that one. So I think we would do the 14 days. And certainly, just try to remind your employees, even if it's a few minutes every month, just say, hey, like this is what we're doing. And I think just having something that's readily available, highlighted or something, just to remind people because, it gets busy and people forget. And that's sort of human behavior, but we want them to remember to do that, right? So that's what I would suggest.
All right.
So I think if the board let's just do a motion that we will impose 14-day restriction on the sales at both locations, the Milton Shell and Milton Fuel, plus the $1,000 fine on each location. And when do you want to start that as of, Caroline? What date?
Yeah, I was just going to say, what date do you want to start that? We could do it. We could start tomorrow, or we could give you another day and start it on Wednesday.
Do you mind starting it on Wednesday so I have time to take everything off the shelf and stuff?
I think that's reasonable if the board agrees.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'll take all the stuff off the shelf and then Wednesday we can start everything.
That
Great.
sounds
Yep.
great.
Okay.
Everything has to be taken off, not just covered. They said
Yeah.
not covered
Yeah,
with a
taken off
sheet
the
or
shelf.
something. Taken off. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
And
Have
you
a
know,
good night, guys.
if you have any
Thank-
questions, you can always, reach out to the board, to Caroline or Carolyn.
Where do I send the checks for the 1,000? Will you guys send me something in the mail and then, or what do I do?
I'll send you something in the mail.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
coming on.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you for the time.
You too.
Bye.
Okay. All right, the next agenda item is $2 Lane. Mitchell Vasquez is requesting a residential kitchen variance to sell retail canned shelf-stable snails from his residence. And we have never got a request like this before. And Carolyn, our assistant health director, reached out to DPH to Jessica Ferreira, the Division of Food Protection for retail food. And she said the allowance for the storage and distribution of the canned items for retail sale out of a residence lies with local authority. So I know we were back and forth with Mr. Vasquez asking multiple questions about what this would look like, as we've never encountered anything like this before with a residential kitchen. So these snails would be shelf stable. They don't require any refrigeration. I know you had originally asked for possible frozen snails, but there is no refrigeration for residential kitchens allowed. So, Mr. Vasquez, would you explain this operation that you'd like to have at your residential kitchen and answer any questions for the board about this?
Yeah, so basically, I'm just going to be selling or distributing canned escargots or snails. And everything will be separate from what I would normally have in my kitchen, personal items or anything like that. So I'm going to just buy a shelf where I can basically store maybe 20 to 50 cans. And that would be it. Probably it's going to be a dry area, clean, and separate from everything that is personal, basically. That would be it. Right?
I just want to clarify for Mr. Vasquez that these would come to him pre-canned, so he wouldn't be doing any of the canning process. If I'm
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carolyn. So it's basically like Carolyn said. I'm just going to basically. The only thing I'm going to handle is from one box to the other, basically. But they're not going to be open. I'm not going to be packaging them in some other place. And that would be it, I guess.
And you're going to be purchasing them internationally?
Yes.
From reputable sources?
Correct.
That are approved by the FDA?
Yes, correct. So any supplier that I would contact would have to be FDA approved.
And maybe explain a little bit about who the consumer will be.
Okay, so right, I'll just be distributing this to restaurants and maybe any other store that would sell them, like maybe a supermarket or a convenience store or something like that. I'm still researching about that, so I don't know exactly how many businesses I can sell, but I'm pretty sure that restaurants will be the main target of my business.
And can you elaborate a little bit? You said 20 to 50 cans. Is that a day that you're going to be getting? Is that a week? And then how much are you going to be distributing?
That's going to be weekly, but it will depend on how much the customer will require. So I'm anticipating that initially that will be the amount that I would be storing. But depending on how the business goes, then it might be a little more than that.
And would, say, an Amazon truck come to your house and drop off the snails? No.
No. So the way I'm going to be distributing is either I mail them or I deliver it directly to the customer. to the restaurants or anyone that I would be selling them to. So there won't be anyone coming into the house for them.
And you're going to be keeping track of all the maybe the name of the product, if there's any kind of numbers on it.
Yeah. So I will keep, like you said, a track of the suppliers and the invoices and the lot numbers, expiration dates, and all that.
And you're planning on putting your own sticker on it?
Yes, but the original stickers will be in place. I'm just going to probably put a sticker so that they would know my business, and that's something that I might be forwarding to you in the case that it needs any approval or anything like that.
I have a quick question. So you're not going to be having a kitchen. It's a business, right? You're not going to have, but you're looking for a kitchen, a residential kitchen variance.
Yeah.
But it's not a kitchen, it's a distribution business.
Right. Now
So
here's the thing.
we have to check zoning and stuff for that, right? Roxanne or Laura?
Well, I would think you'd have to talk to the building department, because it sounds more like a business in a residential zone that you're running. But I actually have some other questions as well, in terms of shelf life, and there are some potentially parasites and botulism if things aren't stored properly, and shelf life of these things. And I'm wondering, if you're selling to, say, restaurants, why wouldn't they just go straight to the place that you're going to? Why would they need a middle person for that? I'm just sort of curious.
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if they go directly to the source. They usually would buy from suppliers, I believe so. So I don't think they go directly to the people that make the product. They will go to someone that distributes it, actually.
True. So a distributor, that makes sense. Yes.
I have to work on, obviously, letting myself know. So that's going to be a little tricky for me. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be distributing that for them.
I guess the other question or comment I would have is, if you're saying right now it's 20 to 50 cans weekly, let's say it takes off and you're doing more, you're going to have more deliveries, you're going to need more storage. And I'm just wondering how that's going to all work out, given that it's not this is a someone's home, this is your home versus a business place, right? So I'm just trying to think, if it gets really busy, potentially it could. How would that work? And what is the shelf life of the product?
Okay, so what I'm planning to do is initially start it at home. But if that were to happen, obviously I would have to go get some other place to store this product. So basically, it all depends on if I cannot store everything in my house. Obviously, I'm going to have to look for a bigger place. But initially, I would like to start at home.
What is the shelf life of the product?
When you say shelf life, what do you mean? Like,
so you get a can of snails or whatever. Usually they expire on a certain date. So like, is it, the shelf life is typically a year, or is it less? I'm just trying to understand that, because it's a little different,
Yeah, so it could last several months. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it could be probably like maybe 6 months or so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Laura, are you trying to speak? I can't hear you.
How big is each can? Like, are they big cans,
No,
small cans?
No, it's like
Like a tuna fish can?
Yeah, a little bigger. It's probably like they all have different sizes, but I would say maybe like a bean, can of bean or something like that.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little smaller than that,
Mhm.
depends. But the sizes they vary, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of space.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we don't need a kitchen variance. I think.
No, not for now. Not for now. Here's the thing, because I'm looking to eventually, not now, get a permit to see, and this is something different because I'm learning about how to farm snails. So eventually, it's something that I would be interested in, maybe getting a permit to get a small farm. And I don't know if that could be done in the premises of my home. But for now, I'm only going to be distributing products that are already made, pre-made and prepackaged, already ready to eat and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So if I were to require to do the farm, then I guess I would have to get a variance. And I'm not sure that could be done in my zoning area. That would be another story, I guess. But for now, what I'm looking for is basically sell already made products, canned products.
Mhm.
Do you sell other products other than the snails?
No, but it's something that I would probably be interested in doing. So, like I said, I'm just going to start there. I might be, if things go well, probably I'm gonna be looking for another place because my house is not gonna be enough, I guess. So,
Out of curiosity, what is the average price for a can of snails?
let's say maybe $20, something like that. In average, depends on the product and who makes it, where they come from.
You know, there must be certain ones that that the FDA approves of, so those would be the ones that you would have to
Yeah,
sell.
definitely. Mm-hmm. I don't know if, because obviously it's going to be a product that will be approved by the FDA, but is it something that I need to provide once I start the business to the health department?
So just looking back at Jessica Ferrera's email, says the import of the goods is through the FDA.
Through the FDA. Okay.
She said through the FDA. So I don't know exactly what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I will inquire about it, but my main thing is making sure that I can store this at my property, basically.
So when we were reaching out to Jessica, we were under the assumption that you were going to be selling them like online through delivery to like other residents, like just like regular people to their house. But now that you mentioned that you might be selling them to restaurants, I don't know if this then becomes a wholesale situation versus retail. Because with
Yeah.
wholesale, Jessica mentioned that that would require you to have a warehouse location. So we would just need to double check with her, or if you wanted to do that research and determine that. But we'll probably reach out to Jessica as well about that because we weren't aware that you wanted to sell them to local like restaurants and convenience stores until now.
Yeah, I mean that was the progressive, was not to particular people and all that, but yeah.
Okay.
So I can check that whether it needs to be in on a storage or anything.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the regulations. So anyone producing food for sale at wholesale, for example, to a supermarket or a restaurant, um, that resale to an ultimate consumer is considered a wholesale residential kitchen. I thought we were doing retail. It sounds like maybe this is wholesale.
Okay, so
You're going to be,
in the case of a wholesale, then is it something that might it be an inconvenient?
I think we're going to have to go back to Jessica at the state. I'm wondering if it's through the state and not through the local that has to be permitting you. If it's going to be wholesale, if you're selling it to restaurants or supermarkets. What do you think, Carolyn? You had some discussions with Jess.
Yeah, based on her email, I think that might be the way to go. I'm just rereading her email now. So she said from the transactions at the residence, the facility in which it will be permitted, this sounds like retail sales for the online sales. The storage and distribution of any products from a residential kitchen is not authorized for wholesale. They must secure a proper warehouse location.
Okay. So it's only if it were a retail sale, correct?
That's what I'm getting from the email, yes.
Okay, so the other thing is if someone does a retail sale, right? One can sell it in the internet and all that, correct?
I think so, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. I'm just thinking because even if I do the retail, would I be allowed to have it at home? That's my my question. Can I still have it at home stored?
I think that we would have to check with Jessica again, but I think that what would determine it is the amount of quantities you're selling, because I think
Right.
wholesale is looking at bulk large quantities and retail is just like it's more customer based. But if you're doing like high volume bulk sales to multiple stores, that would look more like wholesale.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'm learning something now. All
I
right.
think
So
I was going to say, excuse me, I think the other thing to consider is if you're running a business in a residential neighborhood, I think that, you'd have to, we'd have to find out about that, Caroline, as well. Because if you're talking about, trucks coming in or deliveries coming in, at least once a week and the minimum, I think that is something that you're going to have to find out about. Caroline, maybe loop in one of the other, maybe building or I don't know, just to find out about that.
Yeah. So if you're in a residential area, and it
Right.
depends on how much. Again, you're right. You might start with 20 to 50 cans, but what happens if you start booming and it's hundreds and hundreds of cans being delivered, and just the impact of traffic or deliveries in and out of your house? And then your neighbors could start complaining and saying, well, this is not a zone for commercial district. This is residential and there's too much activity here. So,
yeah, I don't think it will reach that point. But if it were, then again, I'm pretty sure that I would be looking for a storage out in the house somewhere else. If that were to happen.
so board, do you want me to go back to get some more answers about like what's considered 20 to 50 cans versus more cans or more
Yeah, definitely. I would like to know.
more activity at his house? And would that constitute more of a commercial district
Yeah.
instead of residential?
I think the only activity I would have is basically me packaging things, but I don't think anyone would be coming inside the house or anything like that, or no big trucks or anything like that. If anything, I would use my own transportation for it, and it's not like a truck or anything like that. I don't think I would be obstructing any any traffic or anything like that. I don't know if you know where my house is, but it's in an intersection basically. There is traffic because there's the Blue Hill Avenue, which is basically a very transited street, but I don't think I will be obstructing in any way.
What's the next steps, board?
I would think you need to get a few more answers, Caroline, for both him as well as the board
Yep.
on this, you know, some clarity. That's what I would say we should be doing.
I
I don't
agree.
know how the rest of
I
the board
agree.
feels.
No, I agree with that.
I agree.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't know anything. This is the first time I'm doing this type of thing, so I really want to know before really getting into it. Like I said, I'm researching. I don't know much about it yet, but I do want to know what are my options, you know, because if I can, then I'm going to have to look for another place for sure. But given the circumstances, you know, whatever can save money, that so yeah. So any help will be appreciated.
I think that's good. I mean, Caroline, if you can look into those things for him and for the board, that would be great.
Okay, we'll do. We'll be in touch, Mr. Vasquez.
Great, thank you.
We'll get some more answers from the state, and I'll talk to our building commissioner, zoning,
Sure.
to find out a little bit more.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night. Okay. Next up is discussion of camp applications. And our public health nurse, Susan, has received 9 applications so far. So we see discussion of camp applications received and expectations of all information to be approved before a camp will be allowed to open. And we discussed this last year about the camps. Susan and I did have a meeting both with Curry College, Mr. Lamb, and Milton Academy, Kim Smith, to discuss the expectations for this coming year. The expectations is that all the paperwork will be submitted, at least the application will be submitted 3 months prior to the opening day. And then 2 weeks before the opening day, you know, everything has to be submitted then. We can't be waiting till last minute. It's their responsibility to get all the information to us. And it's so much information to be gathered, including queries and stories and all the camp staff information, the children's immunizations, and Sue has packets this big on each camp. So it takes so much work to make sure that everything is in the packets, that all the safety precautions and physicals and everything, they have like disaster plans, lost camper plans. I mean, it just goes on and on to make sure everything's in place 2 weeks before, or else the camp will not open. And they were told that. So last year we had 19 camps. Right now, Sue has 9 camps. So that's where we are at right now.
Quick question, Caroline. Based on last year, if we had 19 last year and 9 this year, I'm just wondering, are they all going to start popping up after this? Because I'm looking, it's like April 13th, and, you know, we had camps that just popped up. So that's a big discrepancy.
Yep.
Did you talk with both of them saying that we need to know? Like if they decide to throw in another camp, we need good
Yep.
amount of time to still review it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did. We emphasized that.
Okay.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of time to put all those applications together. Like all the important work is, they know that. And I said, we're not going to open the camp, and that's it. It has to all be in 2 weeks
Okay.
before. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, does anybody have any other questions about the camps?
I don't.
Okay, moving on to number 8. Let's see. Discussion regarding mental health referral services for the town and our public schools funded by the opioid abatement monies. 3 businesses were solicited and 3 proposals were submitted. Care Solace, Bloom, and Interface. The state is restricting funding and referred us to the behavioral help line. Discussion and potential approval of opioid abatement monies being expended on camp scholarships for children. So I have Ann's report. I just wanted to read that quickly to tell you what Ann and I have been doing for the past couple of months. So this is from Ann. So Caroline and I have spent the last few months researching and meeting with 3 mental health service platforms. I just mentioned them: Care Solace, Bloom, and William James Interface. The hope was to use the opioid abatement funds to provide services to the Milton Public Schools and Milton residents, expanding mental health services for residents and families to obtain long-term providers with or without insurance. Caroline and I had met with, and it's called RISE, R-I-Z-E, but that's the technical assistance platform that the state has asked us to connect with. So we met with them in the fall, and at that time we're told that we could move forward with exploring these mental health platforms, and that's what we did. So most recently, the state has decided that those platforms do not offer services that differ from the Massachusetts Behavioral Health Line. The state will start rolling back on any municipality who has already contracted with these mental health platforms and their utilization. So again, I had said this, there's a number of towns that are already using these platforms. Ann and I, after speaking to all 3 of them, had decided that Care Solace would be a strong platform to provide for the town and schools' needs. But again, when we contact Rise and Mosaic, they said that we couldn't use that platform, that we would be supplanting what the behavioral health line does. So the Massachusetts Behavioral Health Line, Helpline, we advertised this in the paper. I think it probably went into the Milton Times. We have it on our website. It's a 24-hour, 365-day a year. You can text, you can call for people who are struggling with mental health or substance use in a crisis. And they will match you up with a clinician to help you through that. So I was disappointed. We spent a lot of time speaking to all those companies, solicited, bids from all 3 of them. And to hear that we can't use them was very disappointing. As I said, other towns are using them. I said, well, what are you going to do about those other towns using them? They said, oh, we're going to have to email them and tell them that they can't use them. So they said, we want you to advertise against the Massachusetts Behavioral Health Helpline. And we put that in paper. And as I said, I just couldn't believe that, because they said if we had any gaps, and the schools have reached out and said, please explore. They mustn't be happy with the behavioral health helpline. They know about it. And they had mentioned, Care Solace and Bloom. So, we did have Zoom meetings with all 3 of them and got the pricing. And then the state said, no, we can't use them. So again, that's very disappointing that we can't use it. We can only use the behavioral health helpline, which is free. It's from the state. So I don't know if the board wants to explore. I sent you, let's see, I had sent you the small grant scholarship requests I don't know if you'd think about that to have a camp scholarship for the kids. You know, you'd have to decide funding available, $2,000, $2,500. It would be the grant applications would be reviewed on a rolling basis by the Milton Health Department staff with final approval of the Board of Health, and maybe up to 10 scholarships will be awarded. And the money would be, the checks would be written right to the camps. So we can't send the check to the person, but the eligibility would be people who've been directly impacted by opioid use disorder. So this is immediate family members, guardians or parents, grandparents, sibling, or step siblings. And it would be easy to actually complete this scholarship, and that's what we want. We want it to be easy. And really, they just have to do a testimonial, a narrative, 3 to 4 paragraphs of why they should be awarded it. And as I said, the check would be written, and it would go right to the camp.
No, Caroline,
Yeah.
if someone wanted to go to a music camp or an art camp, or some camps are more therapeutic and they have therapy at the camp. Like the camps are all different. They do have camps for people with social, emotional needs to, all kinds of different therapies. So it would be a camp, but many different kinds of camps would be acceptable. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you said elderly, so maybe would you consider like grief counseling and that sort of thing as well with these monies? Okay.
I think so. What do you think, Roxanne and Laura? As long as the camp, if it's a grief camp or if it's a grief counselor, as long as it can be, the check can be written to, a company. Now they're kind of tightening it up that they have to be like a company. It can't be an individual. I know Amy Dexter had some meetings about TINs, taxpayer identification numbers. So we could put that in there.
Mm-hmm. How would you publicize that these were available?
So we'd put it in the Milton Times. We put it out to our social media channels.
Would you give it to like the
We put it on
schools,
our
guidance
website.
counselors, or?
Our social workers. Yeah.
I also think a couple of things. I just wanted to back up for 1 minute. So the the Mass Behavioral Helpline, do we have that on our website? We should put that up there.
I believe
So
we should have. Carolyn, is that up there?
So I just want to make sure we have that on the website. That's the first thing. I think the camps, that's a great idea, really a great idea. And I do like the grief counseling as well for people. And it sounds like they won't do individual like this. And there are some private practitioners, like I know a couple NPs, for instance, that this is what they do, but it's not for anything like that. It has to go through some organization. Is that it for grief counseling?
I believe so, just because Amy Dexter just had a meeting with us, and they're trying to, instead of a social security number, to get paid, because we need a W-9. There was some talk about TIN numbers, and that it had to be a taxpayer identification number, like a business that we could send it to. And like a camp would be a business, and we get a W-9. So we have to get the W-9 to send out the check. So again, I can ask Amy Dexter again, but that was something that was brought up at our last department head meeting, that we needed TINs on a W-9. Yeah.
Okay. And then with posting things for the grief counseling, you could also go through the COA, right? Yes. You could post over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
The youth officer as well might let them know what's going on, what we have available.
Right.
And then maybe some of our local pediatricians' offices might be good too. That families might confide in them, and if they're from Milton, they can access the monies.
And the funding available, what do you think for the camps? Would you like up to $2,000 or higher than that? Or what are your thoughts, Board?
What does camp generally cost these days? I've kind of been out of that scene.
It
I'm going
depends.
to turn it over to Carolyn because it can be very expensive. She made a
Yeah.
list and it's in your packets about, I mean, beyond Aquila, and it's 8,700 for 2.5 weeks. So it's like a specialized camp. But
I was researching all the camps that we've gotten applications so far in Milton, and they average. If you look at the spreadsheet, I tried to do it based on like what the duration was and how much it would cost for the whole summer. So that should give like a better average idea of how much the camps cost in Milton. Just for summer camps right now.
and this could be expanded to not include just summer camps. I mean, there's camps probably on school vacations and stuff too.
Yeah.
Right.
It's expensive for camps.
Yeah.
There is.
I mean,
We
Did
could
you
go
say
2,500 maybe or something like that?
What did you say, Roxanne?
2,500?
Yeah, 2,500. That's what I was thinking. Because Caroline, did you just say 2,000?
yeah,
So maybe 2,500, whether it be a camper or in a, one of the elderly that needs counseling or
group counseling.
yeah, maybe the same amount for each.
I
and
would
then
say
they
this, yeah, same amount I think is good, Mary.
and then they can access more if when if they need more, depending on what how much money's left and that sort of thing. I know there's a considerable amount, right?
Yeah.
So making it even and equitable would be good. And somebody might not use the whole 2,500, but that would be the amount. I know that a lot of camps they're extraordinarily expensive. So if you, it might vary. It
Well,
might
we
be
could say
some.
up to 2,500. You know what I mean? We could say up to 2,500 per camp and
Right.
for counseling,
Mm-hmm.
scholarship that we give or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me tweak the language on the scholarship request sheet. I think it should be rolling. I mean, we had originally said maybe the deadline would be like July or June, but this could be a camp that might be later too.
Yeah, rolling is
What are your
better.
thoughts about that? I mean, we could make cutoffs. We could say July 1st and then reassess. It's totally up to what you guys think.
I would say rolling.
I agree with Mary.
Yeah.
I think someone might think it's closed after July 1st and never be made
Right.
aware that it opened up again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. I definitely agree on that.
All right, let's do rolling. So requests may take up to 30 days to be reviewed. What do you think about that? I mean, we can review them, but then,
Well,
I
up
mean,
to
I could send
30
it.
days. If it's quicker, fine.
Right,
That's
up
right.
to. I would say hopefully not 30 days. The camp will be
Right.
open
Right.
by that time. So
I agree.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we can look internally. Maybe, I don't know if you want to send it to the chair or to all of you individually, separately, to say like, yes, do you approve? If you want us to do that, what's your thoughts?
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's already going to be vetted, by all of you, and then
Yeah.
you're just looking for our approval.
Mhm.
So that might
So
work.
we're gonna take out up to 10 scholarships. We'll just keep it rolling.
Yes.
I think that's
Okay.
fine. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens, you know?
We'll see what happens. Okay. And we want it to be an easier process, you know, a narrative or a testimonial. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other thoughts? It says immediate family members, guardian parent, grandparents, sibling, step sibling. Is there anyone else that you want to add to that as immediate? They can always bring up something else and you can decide, I suppose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we've missed something,
Family
yes,
is in many different forms, so
for different people. Yeah.
let's see.
Right. Yes.
How do you plan on making sure that they do have a problem as opposed to someone saying, oh, this is great. We'll say I have a drug addict brother and we'll get money for camp. I mean, do we need a testimonial from a letter from a pediatrician or a psychiatrist or school, or how do you work that?
That's a good question.
I think maybe a testimonial from a guidance counselor, a family member,
Yeah.
just authenticate it's
Not so much a family
not
member,
a-
though. I would think more like a priest or
Right.
a
A
guidance
teacher.
counselor or a teacher
Teacher.
or
Right.
something, the pediatrician, something
Yeah.
that guarantees that there is an issue there.
Yeah, that's a great point, Laura.
Hmm.
I agree.
So do
Yes.
you think a pediatrician or a doctor?
Yeah, or a
A
teacher
therapist or a teacher.
whoever is the school system, someone who's aware of the situation.
Or it could be a member of the clergy too, right? I mean,
Right,
Mhm,
right.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think a family member isn't right because
right.
Right.
it needs to be an
Right.
independent source.
Sure.
I'm just wondering about HIPAA and things like that. People don't want us to disclose to somebody too. Mm.
Mm.
Police. The police could, someone, I mean, someone has, if there's
How about a recommendation from, so say a recommendation.
A recommendation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Recommendation.
that's,
Yes,
yes.
that's
That's
what we're
good.
looking for. Recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let me change some of the language around this, and let's see if we can get it in order by Thursday, because we can get it out into the papers by Friday. You know, for
Oh,
next
that'd be
week.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more question about this. Is it 2,500 per family? Like, what if there's 3 kids in the family all affected? Do you have a
No.
separate, how do we work that?
That might be true. There could be three kids.
Mm.
I mean, do you want to cap it at 10,000 or per family?
I mean, do you cap it at some amount per family or just do it per child regardless? I don't know how we would work that.
Hmm.
And to your point, if somebody had one scholarship at 2,500, can they come back again? And how many times are they able to come back again?
That's
To
what
get,
I was
you know?
gonna
Yeah.
ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I
Yeah,
would
there's
think just
2,500 a
per
year.
year,
Okay.
probably, right?
Well, they're rolling, so you'd really have to
Yeah.
track that. That's the thing. If you're going
Right.
to continue to roll, like, what if somebody came in this month and then 6 months later they came in another 6 months?
Well, I guess
Right
you'd
now.
say this is for the year of 20. Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, it'd be.
Because it's rolling, right? So it could be at
Yeah.
any point in time.
Well, I guess I'm thinking summer camp. It would be summer camp and it might be a little different for grief counseling, but for the summer camp, would it be possible for them to go this year and then apply again next year?
They could also come for, like, if they did a summer program, they could also maybe, in one of the vacation weeks they're doing
Mhm,
something.
true.
It's not really the summer, right? So
Yeah.
it could be like,
So are they limited to more than one?
right. I mean, I guess the only way that you could do the camps thing would maybe, well, again, but if you do it in July, then you really just, I guess I'm thinking if you had, a yearly thing, then you'd have at least, right?
Right.
Versus the rolling. That's the only thing I'm wondering.
Well, I guess could it be a
How
rolling
you track
admission,
it.
but still just for this year? You know what I'm saying with the year?
Mhm.
And so you could apply December or November 15th for a camp in December at the end, like
Mhm.
vacation week.
Right.
But then but then January 1st, the year would start over again.
Hmm.
So like the rolling part doesn't go for the entire year. I mean, for a whole year
Goes to, like,
after.
the
It
year
just
end.
affects till the year end. So you could apply at any time, but the year end would be December 31st.
Mhm.
And then the new one would start.
Right.
So it would be like per the year 2026
Right.
Yes.
And then,
and then 2027. Yep. I think
right,
we
but
would
you
just
could
do it.
apply at any time
Right.
during 2026
Yes.
for 2026.
So
Or
by
you could, at the
December
end of
31st.
2026, you could do it for the following year in December if you wanted.
So through December 31st.
Yeah. I mean, that seems, I don't know what you guys think, but it seems easier to keep track of that way.
So Laura, if
Yeah.
somebody applied, I'm just theoretically thinking, somebody applies, December 1st this year,
Mhm.
but they want to use it the next year.
Then I think you could be applying for the year 2027 in
I see.
December.
Okay. So yeah, you would just have to make it clear what year they're applying to.
Yes.
Yes.
I understand. I think you'd have to do something like that because otherwise you can't track it.
Right.
Right.
And you want to
Yep.
be fair, right? In case
Right.
one year you don't get many, but maybe you get a lot the next year, and you want to be sure that we're hitting everybody, right, that needs it.
Right.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay.
I have a question. If we're doing rolling applications, do we take out the limit of we're only awarding 10 campers / kid? Or do we keep the 10? I feel like it makes sense to not cap it if we're getting rolling applications.
Yes.
Yeah, I would take it
Right.
out.
We're going to take it out.
Yeah, take it out.
Mhm.
And after the first year, we can reassess and see how things are going.
Right.
Would we want to survey the campers too in some fashion to see how effective it was for them? Just, it's a consideration, but we don't have to
Yeah.
answer to it right now.
Maybe something simple, a couple of
Yeah.
questions to say like, did you enjoy
Yeah.
Right.
the camp?
Yeah.
How did you feel going
Was it
into
helpful
camp
to you?
and when
Yep.
you left?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Of course, the little kid's not going to know.
No,
You
they,
know?
if the
Right.
kids were older, they might.
Okay. All right. We're going to tweak this. I'll send it to you individually and you can look at that. I'm going out tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Tuesday. Okay. Yep. See if we can get out Tuesday or Wednesday to you so we can get this out as soon as possible.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Mhm. Mhm. Let's see. Now, yep, health director's report. Let's see. Just a couple of updates. I did get a response back from 68 Smith Road that they were working on the windows now. So they're working in conjunction with inspectional services about that. 5 to 9 Thatcher, I did send an email and I haven't heard from them. So I'll poke them again and give you an update on that.
Okay.
So,
Caroline, quick question on that one. Have they been giving you updates on like the pest and rodent control and all of that they were going to?
No, that's why I have to say to them again, like I keep on saying, like, what's going on, or send the pest control. So I'll have to say, send the pest control again.
Well, yeah,
I
I
did
mean,
the
because
last month,
when we had town council on, that was one of the things,
right?
right? So we need to be on that with them about that.
They did last month. You know, I have to say it to them. Yes, they did, but I got to say it again to them. Send the pest control. Yes, they
Okay,
did.
and it's all secured too and everything, the site, do we know?
It's all secure. There was a gentleman that came in and he said he was going to contact, whoever's representing 5 to 9 Thatcher. He has their number because previously something was coming onto his property. He did contact them. He was able to get it resolved. I said, contact them again because they were responsive the last time. He said, okay. I'll contact them again. So I said, good. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And then East Milton Spirits and Wine, they're working on the asbestos abatement regarding the pipes in the basement. And then we have a number of housing correction orders that we're working on right now. But I mentioned before 333 Thatcher Street, and we're working with town council with that. So we're planning to go out. There is some progress being made on hopefully April 20th to see what kind of repairs have been made. So that's going in a positive direction for that housing case. And then just a couple of updates about programming. April 25th is the Drug Take Back Day. It's at the police station from 10 to 1. April 28th is our Tick Talk. It's a virtual Zoom presentation. It's 6 to 7:30. And then we're going to also say that we have tweezers in the office. Some people have come in and gotten some tweezers already to remove ticks. And then May 16th, we're planning a second food drive, and to be determined the place and time. I think it will be still at Town Hall. I know we had it in the back of Town Hall before, and we may have it now in the front of Town Hall for visibility, but I believe it's going to be May 16th that we're going to do that.
Okay.
And that will increase the kinds of food we get to put into the emergency bags and to put into the take one, leave one. So it gives us more variety. And it was successful. It did, the food that we collected before did supplement those programs. So, and then in June, we're potentially going to be holding an Alzheimer's dementia presentation. It's called Keys, Bags, Names, and Words. Potentially partnering with the Council on Aging. I have to talk to Christine Stanton about that. I did once, but we got to connect again about it. So that's a showing for that. Trying to see if NC8, our shared service money, might be able to pay for that. And if it can't, it's not a lot of money. It's maybe like about $400 we might be able to take out of our revolving fund for programming. But I'm seeing first if NC8, if the shared services will pay for that. And I have a meeting with them tomorrow because I brought it up. And I brought up the TikTok too. So the TikTok's free, but I'm hoping they'll pay for this dementia presentation too. We'll see. And then unfortunately, Stephen Hill had to cancel his presentation at the schools. So he was sick. His presentation is called First Choice and a Second Chance. So that has been rescheduled to September 30th. And the Drug Free Community Grant is paying for that. And then just an update about the emergency food bags and the take one, leave one shelves. So people are still dropping off food, canned food, and sometimes it's out of date, and we're checking those to make sure that they're in date. And as I said, we're going to do that food drive on the 16th. Let's see. And then I shared the monthly health department newsletter. So we put out a March and April edition newsletter. And if you want to sign up, it's through the Town of Milton website. And you can get the monthly newsletters. And we paid for Constant Contact to do that. We also have Sarah Lavari. She's our NCA regional epidemiologist helping us with this. So a couple things came together. We got the Constant Contact contract and Sarah Lavari to help us with and she was in the office today. So Sarah comes once or twice a month and she sits in our office. She was there all day today. So she was working on, among other things, but she was working on the newsletter. So that's great. And then still working with Julianne's with their plan review, and Two Pence Market's coming up. So they've submitted, Two Pence is submitted, and they're starting construction. So we'll be out at those two establishments. And then the Office of Regional and Local Health mandated an annual survey. So this is something new that we're going to have to complete in the health department every year. And it was 240 question survey. And it's the SAFE 2.0 Performance Standards Survey. And they're trying to determine what services each health department in the state is performing. So they're gathering all the data on the survey. They're trying to benchmark where the local public health is delivering the foundational public health services and the capacity needs of all the health departments. So they're analyzing all that. That took quite a bit of time. And there was a lot of questions that they had, and they're still having, because it's not due till April 30th. I've already sent it in, but they had Zoom meetings like twice a week that you could go on and ask questions, because some of the questions they're not straightforward. And a lot of people are coming onto those Zoom meetings. So now going forward, each year, municipalities need to fill out this report, and you're sending it to the Department of Public Health. And Milton's biggest gap is the maternal, child, and family health. So that's one of the foundational public health services. So they are gathering all the information. I'll let you know what they find out to see, what's being delivered at the local level. Because so many towns are different and they're able to deliver services. And yeah, it was very extensive. So. And then Sue and I are planning on attending the MAPHN, Mass Association of Public Health Nurses annual conference in Springfield. That's on May 13th and 14th. And Ann and I are planning to attend the Montana Institute the week of June 15th to learn more. It's about positive community norms. And this will be paid out of the drug-free community grant money. And I talked with them and got it in an email that, yes, this is going to be paid out of the drug-free community. So I'm excited to go and find out more about positive community norms. And does the board have any questions?
No.
About anything?
No, looks good.
All right. Do you want to look at your calendars for number 10, a future meeting date? Let's see.
So you'll need to do a meeting to rearrange the board. Carolyn?
When's the election?
The election is the 28th of April. Town meeting is actually starting on a Wednesday this year, Wednesday, May 6th. So it would have to be before that, probably, to rearrange the board. So you're looking at either later in 2 weeks, or you could do it, the week of the 4th before town meeting. I don't know if the Tuesday works for people, the 5th, or I don't know. What dates are you thinking, Caroline?
Let's see.
Because you're away, not till the 13th, okay.
Let's see. Just looking at the calendar. May 5th is supposed to be a Milton Coalition meeting, but I think that's going to be pushed into June.
What is that?
It's supposed to be a Milton Coalition meeting, but I think it's going to be pushed into June.
I see.
May
Um,
4th is okay.
I
is
can't
May
do the
4th?
4th.
Oh, excuse
I mean,
me.
I might be here, I might not. So, but I can't do the 4th for sure. I have something
Okay.
that night,
Okay.
actually.
It's a quick one. What about Thursday, the
Yeah.
30th?
Yeah, it's a quick one. I mean, you're just going to do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
How's that for you, Caroline?
I don't see anything on here. April 30th. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, okay. What time are you thinking? April 30th.
What time are you guys thinking?
Doesn't matter to me.
7 o'clock?
Same time,
6:30?
7 or
7
6?
o'clock?
7?
7? Is that what you said?
Yes.
7.
Okay.
7,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
To me.
All right.
Okay, so our next meeting, April 30th, on Thursday at 7 p.m.
All right. Very good.
Okay,
All right.
All right. And see you then.
All right. Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
good night.
Good
And
night.
so adjourning the meeting, it's 8:27.
Perfect.
Good night,
All right. Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.